Hey, you guys still here? Hey, I'm still alive. Whoo, man, it's cold out here today. Anyway, welcome to another edition of Faulkner Fixes All. We have two heaters going today. We got a pellet stove and we got an electric heater, and I'm bringing you the content you need. Yeah, we switched out the wheel on the other bike. We now have an alloy wheel in the front, and we're going to work on this alloy wheel in the back. If you've been following this Chestnut Suburban series, we've come a long way. Anyway, so here's the skinny. Let's get you down here and what we're going to do today. We're going to try to space this wheel out. It's just a little... The freewheel is a little too far inboard. I don't know if you can see that. It's just a little, it's like a 1/4 inch. Okay, we're back. Unknown camera problems. Sorry, it's cold. Yeah, anyway, the camera does not want to cooperate today. Hey, I don't even want to cooperate today. Anyway, we got to make this, come out a little bit. And the wheel is dished correctly for 10-speed frame. I don't really want to add a spacer on this side. The wheel is centered where it's supposed to go. You can see here, equal distance. So I don't want to mess with it too much. I think I'm going to try to split the difference. Take the wheel out, slide this freewheel off. We haven't ridden it yet. It should slide right off. And mess with this spacer just a wee bit. I have a few over here to choose from. Maybe one of these. There's some to choose from in here. Those are all kind of big. Maybe just one of these with a really thin retaining nut. I'm not sure yet. I'm just trying to split the difference. This is not the way to really measure it with the straight edge, but you can kind of, if you put the straight edge here and you run it back there, you can kind of see that's inboard a little bit. This is not the tool to use, actually. It's just a rough guide. And that freewheel is a good 1/4 inch too far inboard. So, I mean, we could just put the chain on and deal with it, but it would be a little crunchy, and it's best to have it in line. So we're going to try to mess with that spacer in there. So, yeah, let me put you back up here. And we might even put you on time-lapse for a second. Because people hate those long videos. They can't deal. Okay, let me put you on time-lapse, and we'll take this wheel off, and we'll bring it over there and see if we can de-space it a little bit. Okay, see you in a minute. Oh, yeah, we're going to measure this real quick before the time-lapse. My editing skills are not that good, but anyway, I think we're just going to measure this real quick, where this is to the frame, so when we do change it, we'll know just what's happening, how far we went with the freewheel in towards the frame. So right now, from the edge of the dropout to the edge of the freewheel, it's approximately, it looks like 15/16 of an inch. Probably should be measuring millimeters. Much more accurate. Anyway, from that edge of the gear to the edge of the dropout is about, well, looks like 15/16. We'll just keep that in mind when we try to make this space smaller. We want to get that into like maybe 3/4 of an inch would be great. Then that would be in line with that. So let's just keep that in mind. And we'll go from there. Okay, let's get this off of here. Okay. That did something. We took that one spacer out and we put those 2 bolts in. That's as much as I wanted to go. The frame did flex in a little bit when I tightened it up by my hand. But we basically took this hex part away. I mean, it looks goofy with those 2 bolts in there, but I could machine something. I think I'm just going to let it be. The 2 bolts in there, I have not tightened it up yet, because what we're going to do is we're going to back the axle out that way, because this is sticking out too far, and it, you know, looks a little goofy. And I'm not going to cut the axle, but I'm going to loosen all the stuff up and run the axle that way, like, a 1/4 of an inch, so this is even. And while I'm doing all that, I might check the grease inside the hub. I can't remember about this wheel, whether I got it and it looked like it was okay. I don't think I ever repacked this one. So now that we know that it's all going to work, if we sight down this, it looks, you know, it's still off a little bit. It's hard to really get the camera in there to look, but it's not bad. I think we could just throw a used chain on there to see if it lines up, but I'm sighting down it and it looks better. We could use the ruler too. That was highly accurate technique. Let's get that over there. Get the square on here. Not recommended, but at least we can see just how close it is or is not. And right now that's on there flat, and that's better. See, it's not bad. And we did measure with the ruler. It could be over a little bit, but I don't want to crunch the frame anymore. I could take one more bolt out, but I don't want to bend the frame in. That's not what you should be doing to get that alignment. You should use the right wheel to begin with, which I'm not. What we're doing, yeah, we're going to measure this. So now, this is a fat 3/4. Sorry, folks, my camera does not want to work out here in the cold today for some reason. So yeah, that's a fat 3/4 now, and it was 15/16. So we almost took a 1/4 inch. Yeah, I think we're going to be okay. We did take some space out, and yeah, it is closer over there. We could put a chain across and just make sure it's riding true, but I can see it's pretty close. If I have to take one of these nuts out and chuck it in the lathe, or actually spin one of these down, not really sure yet. But for one thing for sure, we got to take this back out, take the freewheel back off, jack the axle that way, and while we're at it, we'll check the grease in the hub. And we got some new tires over there too. Okay, so let's do that, and I'll get back to you. The camera is really not acting right today. Let's just put it on top of this heater for a while. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Hi, folks. Yeah, we're gonna do it the right way. I measured it, and we'll just take this collet spacer and we'll turn it down. We'll do the right thing. You know, this is a quality establishment here. This is a high-tech bike shop. We don't do things with big, bulky, double nuts and stuff. We'll turn it down. It'll look better, and it'll just be better. So let me turn this down real quick. This is boring. I'm not going to show you the boring part. Probably take me about 15 minutes. The lathe is kind of underpowered, and like I said earlier, it does not like bike parts. Although that little collar piece is not a super hardened part, so we'll see. I'll get you back in a second. All right, we machined this up, and we actually took the drop and machined that too, just kind of for the next time kind of thing, you know, because that's definitely smaller than that piece. Yeah, with the drop, that we actually put this in the vise, used the zip disc to save time, and we cut it, and then we chucked it up in the lathe and spun it nice and flat. And then we took the drop and did the same thing, because what the heck, these thin ones are nice to have, and we'll throw this little thin one in there. Oops, where it goes. And as you can see, this one I just machined is a little bit even smaller than these two put together, and it is the right part now. It's an actual collet. I'll put it on there. So let's spin this on real quick, and we'll just throw it back in here and see what it looks like, and then I will take the wheel apart and repack everything and put that axle back the way I want it. I mean, we could actually cut the axle. I don't think I will, though. I think there's enough room to just leave it spun back on the other side a little bit. And I did chase this a little bit with a chamfer tool because there was some sharp stuff in there. Turned out pretty well. And let's see how this is going to work. And we'll just chuck it in the frame real quick. We're not gonna take this wheel apart yet until I'm sure that everything's going to be good. And then we'll take the axle out and straighten it how I want it, you know, shove it back in that way. And we'll repack the bearings at that time. And we're not tightening anything up right now. We're just checking the space with the freewheel to make sure that the chain alignment is going to be okay. Now, we took quite a bit off. There was a piece on here this big. We turned that down to be even smaller than these two pieces. So we're just kind of guesstimating right now. Let's bring the tape measure with me this time. And we'll go back over here. This chair out of my way. Yeah, you know, it's nice to have a lathe. It does come in handy now and then. You could have done that with those two double nuts, but it looked kind of funky. You know, it was looking a little funk. And that's not how, you know, that's not how we do stuff here. Now, this is going to pinch the frame in a little bit. I wanted to avoid that. But it's kind of inevitable at this point to get this straight. Looks pretty good so far. Let's get the wrench and give this a tighten. Yeah, the frame is going to pinch in a little bit. It's not the end of the world. If we can get that freewheel to do the right thing and be spaced over enough for the chain to ride correctly. Oh, it's looking much better. I can tell already. I can tell already, folks. Oh yeah, I can see already. The first sign is that is closer to this bolt even. You know, you can see that. Oh, that's closer, you know. Oh yeah, that's right on the money. Let's see how much we got on that. So we started with 15/16, and I wanted somewhere around 3/4, and it's a little under 3/4. Yeah, we did really good. We did really good on the machining that spacer. Now the frame did compress a little bit, but a little bit's okay. And I don't know if you can see it, but looking straight down there, it's pretty much dead on. Let's get the straight edge. And this is by no means the correct tool to use. There is a tool for this. This is not it. So it's flat on there, and it's right on the money there. Yeah, this is good. I don't think we're even going to have to get a chain across here to even test it. I think we're right on the money here. Okay, so instead of using these, I machined one of these to be a little smaller, and we even did save the drop because you never know. Yeah, I can de-chamfer that a little bit, and you know, you could probably use that setup now if you had to for the next go around. You know, you could do something like that. Yeah, it looks good. So now we're going to take it back apart, take the freewheel off, take the axle out. well, we're going to repack it, but when we put it back together, we're going to make the axle go that way a little bit, because now this is really sticking out now. So I don't think we're going to cut the axle, but we're gonna split the difference and make it come out. Unless I can find a smaller axle, but I don't think I'm going to go that far. I could always zip disc it off, but that looks terrible when you do that. Okay, so yeah, next video, probably me putting tires on this thing, because I think we're pretty good here, folks. I'm looking down this, and I don't know if I can get the camera in there close, but the way that gear is lined up to the front gear, I think we're pretty good. Okay, as always, you know, get peppy, get out in your shop, work on your junk. Or your soon not to be junk. Hey, this is coming along, folks. Yeah, and see, it's all the way back right now, but it'll look normal when we kick it that way. We got plenty of room, and I don't think I'll have to use a half link or anything. I think there's plenty of adjustment here. Okay, peace out for now, and next video we'll be putting some tires on it and getting ready to, I guess, test the frame before we go any further, because, you know, it's good to test the frame before you... I probably should have tested the frame before I got tires, but hey, you know, live and learn. I make the mistakes, so you don't have to. Yeah, okay, peace out. Okay, a little time lapse there, some repacking. Welcome to Faulkner Fixes All. And a little time lapse there, and we cleaned out the old grease. It wasn't that bad. And we found some rim washers off of a Schwinn 5-speed rim. And this is, you know, it's good now. I'm gonna call that good. You can see, let me put my glasses on, that is pretty straight to the other chain ring down there. You know, you can kind of see that straight. I don't know, like here. Yeah, it's right on the money. Don't you worry, folks. Okay, and the wheels kicked in about halfway, and we haven't adjusted these yet. I think we can loosen that up and pull these back a little, If not, we can shove the wheel that way a little bit. I might change this bolt anyway. That's kind of bugging me. That's been kind of a thorn in my paw. You know, I knew that was wrong when I put it in there, but we're going to change that. And I think what we're going to do is go ahead and put the new tire and tube on, because we're kind of done messing with this wheel. And once I put it back on and finish that bolt off, that'll be basically it until I get the 20-tooth freewheel, which is coming in the mail. And it's funny how you buy things on eBay and they say, oh, you know, shipping time 2 to 4 days, and you're checking and you're checking and you're checking, and then, you know, the 5th day rolls around and you're like, well, 2 to 4 days shipping time. Oh, it's the 5th day. They just put it in the mail. Sweet. You know, have some couth, folks. I don't wait 5 days before I put something in the mail. I'm on it, man. I ship things right away. Apparently, you know, 2 to 4 days is an estimate of when they're actually going to print the label. Okay, rant over. You know, I understand. Times are tough. You have stuff to do, but you could at least ship out the parts I paid money for. Anyway, yeah, we're waiting for a 20 in the mail. 20-tooth freewheel should be pretty good. But in the meantime, we can kind of put tires on this and put a chain on it and kind of test the frame a little bit. So let's put you back on time lapse. I didn't want to waste all your precious time, but the wheel turned out pretty good. It's got fresh grease in it now, and the cones look pretty good. The axle's not bent. I'm satisfied. Well, you never know until you get in there, right? You know, until you get in there and clean all those hard parts. You could have a cracked bearing. You could have a bad race. I mean, you never know. You can't, you know, I'm not Clark Kent. I've known nothing about that rim. I've never been inside of it before. I used red grease, and the stuff that was in there was kind of old and brown. So, not that red grease is better. I just kind of used the red grease that I know. Oh, there's red grease sticking out of it. Oh, I repacked it. You know, I'm not a genius. I can't remember every wheel I repack, especially if you repack like 5 wheels a day, then, you know. Anyway, let's put you on time lapse, and let's put a tire and a thorn-proof tube on this rim, and we'll pop it back on. We might even get as far as getting a shop chain on there. I doubt it, though. Hey, folks. Faulkner Fixes All here. Well, we got some good news, and we got some not so good news. But we'll get to that in a second. The good news is we are not going to use this 18 tooth. We're waiting on a 20. If we did use the 18, we would have to use a half link. If we add another whole section here, it would be way too close in there. And I want this to be concentric in the fender, just like it is. So if we run an 18, we're going to have to use a half link. And from my experience, we're probably going to have to use a half link anyway. I have some. No biggie. This is just with the 20 tooth, we're going to have to use a half link. This is just a shop used chain. But you can tell it's fine. It's right on the money. I mean, it's a crappy chain. It's been sitting around a while, just off some old bike. I'll get a better chain, but it's right on the money. I don't know if you can see that, but it's good. Yep. And anyway, what I've run into with this tire, you know, the cheap turns out expensive. All right. Anyway, I won't tell you the name brand of this tire yet. I'm going to give the company a chance to send me some that are correct. I ran into this. You don't usually run into this on bikes. Usually they're pretty honest sizing. But today's world, you got to look out. Anyway, the cheap comes out expensive. I saw some tires that were cheap. They weren't Kendas. Kendas are cheap enough. Anyway, this is a 27 by 1.25 inch. And the ISO size is 32 by 630. And it's marked 27 by 1.25 inch. You might not be able to see that, but you can see it on that one over there, that old one. That's also a really old Kenda tire, 32 by 630. Remember that size. Okay, We're not going to do any measuring. We're just going to go over to this bike and say, oh, what do we got here? Oh, 27 by 1.25 inches. 32 by 630. Oh, it must be 1.25 inches tire. Oh, man. You know, these were really cheap. What a great deal. Not. Okay. So here we go. We're going to just go in there like that and just kind of look at what's going on. We'll come under the light here. And sure enough, that's where you measure it from that zero. It's what? 1.25 inches. Yeah, 1.25 inches. It's right on the money. It's 1.25 inches across. You know, you can see the zero right there. In thousandths of an inch. It's right on the money. And you know what? We'll double check it. We'll even double check it with a ruler. Just to make sure. We'll burn an inch here. Yep, there's an inch. And you look over there. You know, a little under, maybe. That's close. I'll call that 1.25 inches. That's pretty close. Okay, so we got this measurement here. Let's go over to this brand new tire that has well over 70 pounds in it, by the way. It's got about 85 or 90 because it wasn't seating right. So it's not like I underinflated it. And I measured it at 70 psi also. Let's come over here. And no way. Absolutely no way. That's not even 1.1 inches. That's like 1 inch. Let's get a measurement on that. Okay, what do we got? It's 1.16 inches. Yeah, that's not even 1.1 inches tire. I didn't think they even made 1.16 inches, but they do. They do now. Let's burn an inch here. Yeah, it's just a little over. It's 1.16 inches. Now, okay. Oh, maybe you didn't put enough air in it. No, I've got 85 pounds in that, and that's 15 over. Oh, maybe you should let some air out. Maybe that'll make it bigger. It doesn't work like that. And it didn't seat very well either. Wonder why. Because it's a really cheap tire that they folded up in half. And you can kind of see, you know, it's got that flat area there where they folded it. That doesn't bug me as much. You can ride that out. What bugs me is I got gypped. It's not 1.25 inches tire. And the ISO size says that it is. It's not a 32 by 630. It's not. They lied. Okay? Let's check it out. Here's an old Kenda. That's an old Kenda 1.25 inches. And yes, it's just a little under 1.25 inches. This is a brand new tire. Oh, what's going on here? What happened? Who got gypped? Anyway, I should have known better when the Thorn-proof tube would not fit in it, and it was really tight on the rim. It's really tight. So anyway, we can test the bike with this, but I'm going to give the company the benefit of the doubt. I highly doubt they're going to give me a refund or even pay for the shipping. It's ridiculous. Anyway, if they don't, I will put the word out for you guys not to buy from this company. They're from eBay. I will give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to just start, you know, freaking out on them. But if they don't refund, I don't really want any other tires because anything from them is going to be mismarked. So I don't want their brand tires. I just want a refund. Anyway, the bike's turning out well. The cheap comes out expensive. If you're going to buy cheap tires, buy Kendas or something similar. Just don't buy cheap tires. Get some Schwalbes or Continentals. I'd love to find some Continentals in this size. I don't think they even make them. Anyway, all is well, I guess. Besides me being ticked off. Yeah, I think we're going to go for the 20-tooth freewheel. This one's a bit worn and it's not low geared enough. But we can test the frame. Although I don't really want to test it on this tire. because I might have to send it back. Look at that. It didn't even seat right, and I've got like 20 extra pounds in there. And that's not from me, you know, pinching it near the inner tube. That's not where it's not seating. Let's see where it's not seating. Somewhere around there. Yeah, somewhere in here. That's where the tube is. So anyway, rant over, I guess. Okay, maybe I'm going to tell you guys not to buy from this company if they don't follow through with making it right. And with today's things, they're just going to say, oh, you installed it wrong. No, these tires never fit. A thorn-proof tube never fits in a 27 by inch and a quarter. And, you know, all my bikes with 27 and a quarter, I'm running thorn-proof tubes in all of them. You know where I bring these bikes, okay? Whew, whew. You know where I bring these bikes. This bike has thorn-proof tubes. These two bikes have thorn-proof tubes. All of my 27 by inch and a quarter bikes, and most of the other bikes that I bring places, they all have thorn-proof tubes in them. Oh, it's because you put a thorn-proof tube in it. That's why it didn't bulge out right. Okay, I'm trying to do the math. Okay. Hey, you guys, I thought you would find this comical. I do in a way, but I'll let everybody know. It'll be a learning experience for everyone. Anyway, it's looking good. I'll use the half link, and I'll use the 20-tooth freewheel that's coming, and I'll retain this distance here. All is well. Okay, peace out. Think good thoughts. Don't go off on people on eBay. They're just trying to make a buck. Yeah.